And happy Friday! Alpha, you're alive. I was starting to wonder there, buddy.
Yeah, I got it. I got a little. When I clean, I tend to be single-mindedly focused. So yeah.
Okay, that explains a lot. I'm like, okay, dude, you're late. I'm starting to eat. With or without you, the show must go on. So glad you made it in time, buddy. So I want to say, hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Freaky Friday, where we don't know what we're going to do. We kind of make things up as we go, but we're going to give some crypto news and we're going to dive down the rabbit hole. Tonight's topic is all about the micro mindset versus in a macro world, because that's causing a lot of trouble and a lot of drama. A lot of people are freaking out. So we're going to get into that and mix it up a bit. So first of all, I want to say hello, welcome to Wild Angel. Good to have you with us. And Amateur Radio, yeah. Bacon Oust. Bacon Oust. I don't know what that is.
Bacon
Oust. Tell me about that.
Maybe.
I gotta look that stuff up. Yeah, I do. So, and we've got Amateur Radio, we got Wild Angel. They're having a whole party.
That's BTK. That's BTK.
Oh, okay, BTK.
BTK.
I should have known. I should have known. BTK, brother. Good to see you, my man. So, as you know, every Friday we kick back at Serenity's house. So, leave your shoes at the door, fix yourself a drink. Better yet, make it two. It gets kind of wild around here. Snaps, vapes, chips, whatever you want. Kick back, relax. Let's have some fun. Alpha, how has your week been going so far, buddy, and all this chaos and madness?
I mean, it's been okay. It's been okay. Jade's been home for most of the week, so just spent a bit of time with her. Well,
Nice.
it's not like she lets me sit at the table at my desk anyway, so you know that was
That works. Now, is she home for the week for a good reason, or is this like a sick or a bad reason, or is everything okay?
She was just a little tired from work, so she was like, I'm gonna take a few days off, and just like unwind, because she's been working night shift, and night shift evidently drains a person. So she was like, yeah, no, I need a break. I'm gonna take a break for a bit. So yeah.
I wish I could do that. Well, when I actually had a clock 9 to 5 job, that would have been nice. Like, yeah, boss, not feeling it this week. I'm gonna take a couple days off. I'll catch you next week. Bye.
I mean, she took sick leave, so she took some of her sick leave, and then she had like actual leave also, because Monday was her birthday, so she put in leave for that day. So she put all of those in one strip. She was just like, okay, wait, I'm gonna take sick also, then I'm gonna have my leave days, and then I'll be good. And then it was an off day also. So like Friday was an off day. Then the weekend she took sick leave. Monday was a leave day. Then Tuesday was a leave day also, and then Wednesday she was off. So it was just like, yeah, timed. Gotta time these things properly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, that's great. I'm glad she could do that. Especially right now with the way the markets are going, man. That's probably the best time, because right now everything is just chaos and it's bloodshed out there. And it's kind of funny. I was thinking about it, and I remember I think it was the week before last, the first show in October. I gave you all the stats for October, and as we've seen, statistically, it's been a positive month for the crypto world. And then the last 2 weeks occurred. As we saw last Friday, things just exploded. I mean, we had the biggest flash crash in crypto history in one day, all because at like 4:55, President Trump comes out and says, guess what? We are going to tariff 100% of taxes to China, and everything just, it's like, are you serious? You can't tell me shit like that's not planned. There's got to be a bigger game plan going out there. I don't know. What do you guys think?
What's funny is that only the Americans and some other non-Asian countries were surprised. So basically only the Western countries were surprised, while all the Asian countries were literally prepared. Literally all the Asian countries were prepared, because I know Smiley shared like a post to me where someone was like, they just made a trade. They did a leverage trade on the day on Bitcoin and Ethereum, like for it to go down, and they made like 200 million on those trades. Why did anyone else do that? Because they're not from China. Because those people are from China, so they made like literally tens of millions in a day.
Right. I know there was a couple that there's one trade that was open like 10-15 minutes before that announcement came out, and it was huge. There's a lot of speculation about some insider information. It's like, you don't put in a multi-million-dollar short 10 minutes before an announcement without knowing something's going down.
I know people that went and did the research on it, and that's a guy's actually a CEO from China that, because of the information they've had that was literally propagated throughout China for months in advance, he was like, I know what's going to happen, and I'm going to place my bet that it's going to dump, and then I'm going to make my money, and I'm going to close my short. And he did it, and it worked out. So he was like, also the money was stolen, so it's like,
yeah, timing was almost too perfect. Nobody trades that well. I don't, just my opinion. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, BTK, I'm proud of my portfolio. It held up very well in the crash. Not a bunch of weird alts at all anymore. Good man. Boring is better sometimes. You know, you're right. Yeah. And it's a great way to do it. And if you've invested dollar cost average into some solid blue chips, then you really have nothing to worry about. You kick back your wax, you ride the wave, and you go with it. And so, BTK, man, I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm glad that it's played out fairly well for you and you're staying strong. I'm okay with boring. And Walden says long-term stability is better than volatility. Absolutely, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a whole metaphor of the rabbit and the tortoise. Yeah, I'll be the tortoise. Now, just put it in. Forget. In fact, I don't even hold on to my funds. I give them to Wild Angel because I know I can't be a tortoise. She can't. She'll forget. I'm the bunny. I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, look, shiny. There it goes. Yeah, it doesn't play well. So yeah,
you can't get more stable than a stable coin. So I'm good.
Stable's pretty safe right now. It's the best way to go. One alt is QRL. Did great threat. Ali pump, it retracted a bit. Oh, did it retract? Okay, so by the way, BTK, I'm going to give you a quick shout out because that's one thing I want to talk about. As you guys know, I'm always trying to share information that I pick up from the down home crypto community. And BTK is the one who turned us on to Grass Network. Did great on that one, and we're still waiting for another airdrop that should be coming up here very soon. But I do want to share with you, share screen. There it is. I didn't share my screen first. My bad. Sorry. So BTK, thanks to your advice, I did part together a Frankenstein computer, put it on for mining QRL tokens through Hero Miners. It is up and running. It's not making a lot. I'm not going to lie. I'm making about, daily, about 10 cents a day. But I am starting to collect the QRL. Now, if you don't know what QRL is, it's quantum resistant ledger. Now, yep. Now, one of the things we've talked about quantum resistance before. We talked about how quantum computing could start cracking Bitcoin, things like that. And after this AI bubble pops that we talked about, there is a high probability that quantum resistance will be one of the next major news segments that crypto segues into. So it'll be interesting how that plays because, there's some real threats out there with quantum computing and how that could affect a lot of these protocols, wallets, security, all kinds of things. Because we've never seen that level of technology before. So, yes, that was totally brought to you by BTK, brother. Thank you, my man. And if anybody wants to know more about it, jump in the Down Home Crypto Discord. Be happy to help you out. BTK is in there, but I definitely want to give a shout out to BTK who shared this information with me. And he told me about it a year ago. And I was going to set it up and I gave all my computer parts away. So I had nothing to do it with. So I did. He reminded me the other day. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me see what I can make. So thank you, brother. I appreciate the info. You see, XM rig, awesome. Okay, I'm not even sure which one I'm running on. I will have to look. I know it's pretty simple. It wasn't that hard. So yeah.
Yeah, QRL uses XM rig because Yeah,
exactly. And mine's a Ryzen 3 processor. It's not even a decent one. But it's what I picked up on eBay for like $25. Like, okay, I'll do that to build a tech computer. Was all I was doing. Like, put that damn thing to work. So
for $25. Okay. That's worth it.
That's processor. I had to get the motherboard I bought off Craigslist for $40, and I parted everything else together that I had lying around. Okay, I got some RAM. I got an old hard drive. Good enough. So yeah, that's one of the big things I love to do is repurposing a lot of the hardware I've got. In fact, one project I recently did, and it was very involved, I'll let you guys know. But for any of you helium miners out there, if that old helium miner from IoT is just not doing anything, it's not making any money, but you are looking at doing some different projects. For instance, what I did is I tore my helium miner apart, pulled out the Raspberry Pi 4 that was in it, synced it up with 4 smart plugs, and I bought a 4-pack of small strobe lights from Amazon. And I now have it so when my mother's cell phone rings, who's very hard of hearing, it triggers her smart plug, turning on the strobe light so her whole house turns into a rave for 15 seconds, letting her know her phone is ringing. So if she doesn't have her hearing aid in or something like that, it will alert her. So like, okay, something's going on. And it worked great. It was a little challenging, But if you have those devices, you don't have to go out and rebuy new hardware, like a Raspberry Pi. Dude, you got an old helium miner in the closet, tear it apart, use the screws, pop the SD card, use that for what you need. And if it becomes profitable again, slap it all back together. Plug that SD card back in for a helium miner, and you're good to go.
All that.
Yeah, if her phone's if she doesn't even know where her phone is, it doesn't matter. It'll pick it up and all the lights go on in her house. So, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with the hardware you've already got.
Smart plugs coming in very handy with that one. That's a really cool way to go about using it. I mean, I know you've bought a lot of them, so that's like a really cool way to make use of them.
Right. I mean, we got the hardware. Let's find some uses for them. Whether it's making money or just making our lives easier, it's a great way to do it. Okay, so let's get into crypto news because we got a couple things to cover here real quick. Yeah, like I talked about, Uptober is not Uptober. I'm calling it Bloodytober because it really is. It hasn't been good, and the market's bounced back a little bit after Trump made the announcement. Like, don't worry about China; it'll be fine. It's like, really, dude?
It'll be fine. Things will be fine.
It'll be.
It was just a little bit of risky. It was just a little bit of risky. I wouldn't want it too much.
Yeah, right now everything is crazy, and there's a lot of panic, a lot of things going on, and that's what brought about tonight's topic. Is that micro mindset will totally wreck you if you let it. So you got to zoom out and go to that macro view. We'll get into that in a sec, but a couple quick things here. I'm trying to go through my notes real quick. Now, as speaking of talking about the old helium miners, if you are running a crank multi-miner, now it was just announced. I told you, I believe 2-3 weeks ago, block mesh is no longer viable. Okay. So even though it is still on here, go ahead and disable it because it is gone. It is not working and it is not compatible with your crank miner. It can cause problems. Be very careful about that. But the other one is Brinks AI. So they have officially shut down the Brinks AI project. And here's a posting that was in the Discord. I don't know the details behind it, what happened, but I can tell you that apparently the founder is gone and it left the team to kind of say, hey, sorry, guys, game over. It's done. Says, with sadness, we must inform you that the project has come to an end. Main reason was repeated mistakes and a lack of commitment from the admin, which led to the project in a dead end. Fortunately, he showed neither professionalism nor the will to continue, and as a result, the effort was lost. So if you are running a Brinks AI worker node or relay node on, say, your old computer, like I did a video about months ago, or on your crank miner, make sure to disable that. It's still listed here. All you have to do is click on the little install guy, and if you have it installed, it'll just click remove, and it will delete that. And then from there, you can go into your system, I believe it is, if I'm right. Yes. Go down here and then clear your Docker volumes and clear your Docker images. That'll get rid of that out of your cache, clear up some memory, and get your system running at peak performance. So be aware of that and be prepared because a lot of these projects, before they hit TG or anything like that, it's very likely most of them will not succeed. But the ones that do, hey, that's what we want to capitalize on them. So the more things we can use our hardware for that we already own, the better off we are.
Damn. That's crazy, though. They just, shut down just like that.
Like, game over, dude. Anyway. We're out of here.
I was like, yeah, now I'm tired of this. Let me just bounce. Well, you probably got out what you wanted, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm good. Don't need y'all no more.
Yeah, and how it went down or the backstory of it, I really don't know. In real life, guys, I have been working over the last few months on our house entirely. I mean, we're talking rebuild a shed, put new siding, trim, and repaint the entire house. We've been doing some major remodeling here. So I have not been in as neck deep of the DeFi world as I usually am. But at the same time right now, DeFi world's not a safe place to be lingering. So I haven't wanted to share too much with you guys to let you know that it's just not viable. Speaking of the viability, one thing that we did just see, and I know any of you are mining with the MXC, whether it's the MatchX Pro or the Neo miners, you probably saw your rewards drop significantly, like 100%. I mean, it got ugly. Basically, what they're saying is that they've changed the mining rewards to match how much of the network is actually being used, which is not very much. We knew this was coming. That's why in the video I told you, hey, this is what I'm doing. I picked up a bunch of miners really cheap. I was able to mine, get my ROI, plus make a little bit of profit. Now I have a stack of miners that are making like 1/1/10 of a penny per day. So I'm going to keep plugged in because they use next to no power. Hey, who knows? Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. But anytime I share any of these projects, or anybody you hear or listen to that shares a project, remember, there is a reason they're sharing it, whether they're invested into it, whether they believe into it, or whether they're paid for it. Try to figure out which one of those it is, because that's really important. Personally, I only share what I have skin in the game. If I don't have skin in the game, I'm not going to share it, straight up. And if I do, I will let you know right in the beginning, this is a sponsored video. I'll tell you straight up, that's one of the things in my contract is I will never shill, never promote something I'm not either involved in or warn you ahead of time. Hey, they paid me to talk about this. But even in my contract, I let them know, it's like, I will talk about it, but if I think it's a shit project, I'm going to tell the audience straight up, it's a shit project. I wouldn't touch it. And you're still paying me. That's the way it works. Because I'm not getting paid in tokens or anything else. It's straight USDC or USDT.
Stables only.
Right.
Got to be stable over.
Yeah, that's the only way I will take any payment for any sponsored videos I do. Otherwise, you think about it, as a content creator like you, Alpha, or myself, if we take it in the native token for that blockchain or that project, we have to sell it, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to use the community as exit liquidity. And to me, that's a major, major no-no. So just be very careful where you're getting your information, your news sources, what content creators you're watching or monitoring, and who you're following. Because odds are they're either pumping their bags, they got paid for it, or they're going to use you as exit liquidity. So be careful what they are.
Yeah, especially with tokens, they usually looking to use you as exit liquidity.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is crazy. Although kind of, like you said, it was something that we expected with what is it? Moonchain, is that what they called? Moonchain, yeah. Because the chain itself is incredibly slow. Bridging funds over to the chain is horrible. It takes ages. Getting funds back off the chain takes even longer. It's like everything about it is so clunky that no one will bother with it. Like, why would you spend, I don't know, like 2 hours trying to bridge the Moonchain when you could like spend 10 seconds bridging to base or to Unichain or any of the other not so used chains, like even any of the ZK Sync, all of those take like 10 seconds. But Moonchain, you first have to bridge to Arbitrum, then from Arbitrum you have to bridge to them, and it's just like, no.
And and that's why I got into it, because I saw an opportunity to pick up some miners cheap, make a few bucks. Okay, great. It wasn't that I thought Moonchain was great by any means, nor there was a team. And I've told you guys that before. Their team sucked. Their customer service, it sucked. It was horrible. People were getting banned from their Telegram group by questioning things. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to question, but if I can make a few bucks off this deal, off your mining chain, I'm totally doing it. Brittany, how you doing, dear? Only 2 so far. We got a few more hiding backstage, but we're getting through the crypto stuff. So good to see you, Britt. It's been way too long, dear. You want to come up and crash a party here in a minute, man? I will send you an invite. Shoot me a DM in Discord. I'll get you up here with a party. So now also with everything going on in the financial world, the crypto news world, everything all the way around has had a huge impact on the fear and greed index. And we are at like a serious low. We're at 28 today. People don't know what's going on. We don't know what's happening with government shutdown. We don't know what's going on with politics or war. We don't know what's going on with tariffs. We sure as hell don't know what's going on in the crypto space. I mean, nobody has a clue. So everybody is running around terrified. And that number right there is very disconcerting. But at the same time, if, like BTK was talking earlier, if you got a solid portfolio and you got a plan for a long term, got a nice macro appearance or a mindset, you're probably picking up these crypto things that you think are do good in the next 3 to 5 years at a nice discount right now. So double check your portfolio, see what you actually believe in or don't, and plan for those long plays. Take advantage of these times, because when that fear is down, that's when people start buying cheap and they make money in the long run if they do it right.
True. A lot of people sell when the fear is high. So the smarter people will buy in. It's a fire sale, you could say. Well, we did have a really cool fire sale, last week Friday, but
oh yeah,
that's over now.
Mad I missed that. If I had some funds ready and I was watching, like, man, I saw like AVAX dropped to like $10. Like, oh my god, that would have been awesome. If you could,
it would have been. It would have been up immediately, like literally. Damn.
Oh yeah. Or if you knew it was coming, you could have done like that one trader in China did and made millions. I don't even know how much you made. He did a 10x multiplier on what, 400 million trade at a 10x. Is that what he did? Something like that?
I know some of the numbers he made it, like there was a few it mentioned like 140 million, 200 million, somewhere around there. It's like, damn, bro. Damn. You are muted.
Yeah, I was muted. Yeah, that's some crazy, stupid money. And I'm sorry, but you don't put in a multi-million-dollar trade with 10x leverage 15 minutes or 10 minutes before an announcement that's going to wreck the system without knowing something's coming down. The timing was too perfect. That's my belief. I don't have any proof. That's just my tinfoil hat moment. But yeah, doesn't happen. That's my opinion.
Maybe we should place trades just before news things happen. We place one up and one down. We set a stop loss so that if it goes bad, we just lose out quickly 10%. But if it pumps, then we pump. Maybe we should do that.
Dude, I've tried trading. I suck at it. I absolutely suck at it. But one person who does not suck at it is unfortunately not with us here. I was really hoping he was. I had to pull him up. Is Mr. Cyril here. Now, of course, he put a updated chart. Now, guys, I have been letting you know that this chart is in Down Home Crypto Discord, and he's done this over the last year. Well, he just added his blue line. His previous blue line got turned green, and as you can see, it followed the pattern pretty closely. I mean, he pretty much moved all of these things. Then he's made it this blue line to give us an idea of what's going on. And sure enough, right there was our flash crash that occurred. He expected that right off this green triangle. So went up, it was sitting up here, and his chart said, hey, it's going to come right back to where it was. And sure enough, it came right back to the same level. So this is what he is predicting till the end of the year. Now, I did ask him about this because it's the first time I've ever seen a dotted line. And he let us know in Discord that that is a potential convergence area where it could bounce off this and take off in a different direction. So that's going to be a very interesting time. But as you see here, there's a pretty good way out. Now, this is not financial advice. Do with it what you will. But I can tell you his history of highs and lows and levels has been spot on over the last year. So, go and take a look at the chart. Ask Si any questions or anything. But, this information's out there for you to use if you so choose. But as we see, we're not looking at any huge upward trends anytime before the end of the year. So be very, very careful on what you're trading out there.
That's some crazy looking chart right there with the big whoop.
Oh yeah, it's insane. We're doing great. We're doing good. And then Mr. Trump, hey, guess what I'm gonna do, guys? Yep, game over. Everybody go home. You're broke.
Interesting though how everything pumped just before it and then immediately dumped, and you're just like, damn, okay.
Yeah, but too many things in play. Maybe it's just my brain says that there's something sketch about that whole move. That I don't know. Tinfoil hat. That's just me and my paranoia. But hey, I think there was something in that, especially now that our president is all in the crypto world. I think he's playing some games. But hey, who am I? I'm just a little fish in a big ass pond. So I don't know. So, okay, before we wrap up our crypto world tonight, guys, and dive into our topic, definitely want to give you an update on my Pokes adventure. Now, of course, this is through Monstro's Universe, and I told you this is what, my 9th week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th week running my Pokes, and I started with $109, and every week I have always gotten some profit. Now, last week was the worst. It's 70 cents. 70 cents on $100. That's still what? Basically 7.7% in a week. Better than any savings account you can get. So I'm pretty happy with it. Alpha, anything you want to share on the Pox or the Monsters universe that's going on that people need to be aware
of? No, Monsters still kind of in a building phase right now because we're trying to get everything ready for TGE. So as soon as the market starts picking up in a really good light, then we're going to TG. So right now it's just that. It's just a little bit of focus on that. I think Pox actually has started doing again good. We had a few weeks where things were a little rough, but I think we're getting back to where we were before. Things did change quite a bit, and that's the reason why things were a little wonky for a few weeks. But, it's looking good. I think VRS is finally now in the rhythm with this new system. So I think things are going to keep looking better over the next few weeks. Or at least as good as it has been now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Hope
I think
so.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, and that's one thing is Monstros has been here since 2021. Is when I started working with Various 2020 somewhere in there. They're still building, they're still growing, and sometimes those long games are the best plays. So personally, I love Various. I love the team over there. I love what they're building, and I'm okay with the nice, long, slow growth. So hey, I'm going to keep going on my POCs, and if you guys want to know anything about it, make sure to jump in Monsters Universe or reach out to Alpha Cruz, Various, or myself, and we'll definitely explain whatever we can.
There was a phrase that we always use. I think it's something about like boring is usually more stable, but the more fun ones tend to get you wrecked. Something like that. I know it was something like that. Because it's like Monster is boring. It's like it's super boring. You don't do anything. You don't come back. You don't need to ask about anything. And you just leave it and forget. That's boring. Yet it's also the one that's been around now for like 2 years, was stable. We've never missed a payment. Like it's being constantly weekly. So it's like, might be boring, but at least it's legit.
Right. And my Monstros farm, I keep seeing USDC just roll into my wallet once a week, like you do. And sometimes it's a dime, sometimes a little more. It's like, okay, but it's been constantly paying. I'm good with that. Just keep on paying. Life is good. So before we
things to pump.
Exactly. But before we jump out of the crypto world, in case I know Mr. Nexus backstage, let's see if he has anything he wants to add before we switch to our topic. So Nexus, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good. I like hearing y'all throw flack at China and Hyperliquid. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot to mention Binance was down for 2 hours between 5 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern that day. That's pretty convenient, especially when the announcement goes out at 4:50 p.m. That's a lot of fun. Binance is also compensating people by giving them 40 to 60% of what they lost back. Something give or take. It's a whole lot of money they're going out. But on the Hyperliquid guy, dude was adding to his short position until exactly 4:49 p.m. And all of that is on the blockchain. So forget to tear off that tin foil, because baby, that happened up to the minute.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm with Alpha. It's possible. It could have been a Chinese whale doing whale games, because they were adding to it 26 hours before then. And the wallet had never traded before that. So something went out within that 24-hour window that is only enhanced by a tweet around noon, where the president says something to the effect of, "I'm getting really pissed off about these Chinese, and I'm thinking about lopping a giant tariff on their head." And he says that at like lunchtime. And of course, 4:50 p.m., about 4 hours after he tweeted that, boom, I'm dropping 100% tariffs on all exported Chinese goods.
Yep. And biggest flash crash in history right there. It's like, seriously? Yeah. And the people that made the money on that, you can't tell me they didn't know something was up. I could see a regular trader seeing the thing at noon, like, I better put in a short because this could get kind of sketchy. I could see that.
Yeah. Between noon and 3, noon to 4 even, I think it makes sense people would be doing that. But it's up till 4:49 p.m. stacking millions more dollars on top of the millions you already piled. By the time he was done and the tweet fired at 4:51, his position was frankly a $70 million 10x leverage position, and he sold all of it at 5:20.
Oh, yeah.
200 million out of that. He 3x'd $70 million like it was nothing.
Done. Life is set. You're good there.
Well, he does have a wallet that holds 2.9 billion Bitcoin, so 3.2 billion, sorry. Yes, 29.
Yeah, he's got the money to do it, but still, that's a hell of a gamble. And perfect.
From what my friends have done research on, this guy always trades with a brand new wallet. So he always transfer things to a brand new wallet, place one trade, sure, whatever. Once the trade is finished, he moves the funds out and that's it. Never uses the wallet again. Like, damn, okay.
Crazy shit
That
going
is
on.
Crazy.
Yeah. So beyond that crazy, Nexus, how
It's
you doing,
simple.
brother? How's your week been?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's simple because the administration was forwarding to everybody in the diplomatic orbit, everyone in Asia, everybody who was in concert with the Asian hemisphere, that basically knew that this was going to happen. Outside of managing the chaos, well, actually, there's nothing. I'm sorry. It's just constant chaos management.
Yeah. Especially over the last couple weeks. It's been ugly.
Yeah. Insanely ugly.
But hey, we're here. We're surviving. We're going to have some fun. Now, as you guys can see right there on the bottom screen, it does say tonight's topic is dangers of a micro mindset in a macro world. Now, of course, a lot of you might be thinking, well, micro and macro, you must be talking finances. No, I'm not just talking finances. I'm talking about everything of your life. A micro mindset is when we hyper focus on a small portion and we forget about the big picture. There's old sayings of, too close to the forest to see the trees, or the other way around. Too close to the trees to see the forest. Yeah, one of those. However that one goes. Yeah. But we do that. We all do that. Whether it's in our jobs, in our relationships, in our tragedies, our losses, our victories, we often forget the big picture, and we get so hyper focused on it. And that's one of the things that I think we really need to break down, especially right now, as turmoil as our world is. It's when it's really important to zoom out. Not always focus on what we're doing, but also take some time, zoom out, and get a new perspective. Now, one person I know who's had to do that recently to an extreme level is none other than Miss Wild Angel herself. How you doing, girl?
Hi, guys. Okay.
Hi, Wild Angel.
Say hi. I'm getting
Hi,
furry
Joey.
therapy.
That's
I've
Joey.
been getting furry therapy for the last 20 minutes.
He looks very happy to be given furry therapy.
Yeah. He gets down, he comes back, and he gets down, he comes back.
He looks so big
Yeah,
now.
I've been.
He looks
Yeah.
massive.
He's almost 14 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
13 and a quarter, something like that. Yeah, I have been having to live in a micro mindset just to survive the last 2-3 weeks. And, it is what it is. Sometimes you have to pull it in and not worry about the bigger picture.
Right.
Because sometimes all you can do is focus on what you're doing today or what you're doing right at that minute in order just to survive.
So, Wild Angel, now you said you've had to do this recently. Anything you want to share, or what caused this? Was it something with work or education or finances or personal, or what was it?
I'm not going to get much into it, otherwise I will turn into a blubbering idiot again. I have a couple of really uncomfortable anniversaries yesterday and tomorrow, and they're kind of piggybacked, and so it's been kind of overwhelming.
It has been, but you've done well. You've struggled through, you survived, and I've been immensely proud of you, because it's not easy to deal with tragedy and loss, and on those anniversaries when they come back around. I know we've all,
especially when they're so concentrated, like it's the
right?
worst.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
something.
they're 40 years apart, but they're 2 days apart. And yeah. Sorry, now I have cat hair on my face. And one of them is fairly new, fairly recent. And so, yeah. It's pretty cool that I've had a lot of support from home, from work. I took a mental health day today because after yesterday, I was just like, okay, time out. I need a mental health day. So, and my boss was like, see ya.
And that's great. You can do that. Kind of like what it sounds like Jade is doing, is taking some time there too, Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to, just for mental health days.
You have to.
Great response, Alpha. It's like, he's the life.
I didn't know what else to say.
I love
But
it. So
yeah, sometimes
yeah.
you really do need to take those breaks, especially when
Right.
you're working night shift. Well, night shift
And-
especially because it takes a lot of strain on your brain. Like,
It
you know,
does.
you're supposed to be asleep and your brain's like, why am I awake? And then it just messes with your hormones. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, I'm depression.
Right? That's why I don't work nights.
you know, I always liked working nights just because it was quiet. I wasn't missing anything. But then when I was supposed to sleep, that's when I was missing everything. So I didn't sleep for shit. And it train wrecked. So where it's like, you know, as much as I like working nights, like I can't do it because I'm missing out on everything. And it gets very challenging sometimes. And okay, I thought you grabbed a big orange cat. I'm like, you got dizzy now? Sorry, got distracted by the shiny thing.
I got squares.
Oh, it's Squares. Squares looks
Okay.
cool.
I thought you got the other big cat.
No,
So,
he's
you know what?
asleep on the bed.
Perfect. Okay. And you know, that's one of those things that, especially when times right now, when things are turmoil, with the government, with war, with finances, economy, things like that, and just a lot of uncertainty, a lot of people are hyper focused on their little piece of the life because they feel they can control it. And you look out at the big picture and they feel like, well, it's almost hopeless. I know Nexus, you and I were talking about, you know, younger individuals really getting trapped in that. So, you know, go ahead, take it away, Nex.
It's hard right now. I've had my own moments of being tunnel visioned, not being able to see the forest for the trees, especially recently. And it's apparently in the zeitgeist, people, because I've had 2 or 3 17, 18, 19-year-old community members in the Discord server just absolutely crash out. Like, their mental health just broke down. They thought that there was no hope. They thought that there was going to be nothing but drone war in their future, powered by an AI slot machine corporation fighting another AI slot machine corporation. And it's all of that is overwhelming. And I must reiterate and emphasize that again, there is no data on the long-term implications of continuous exposure to everything happening everywhere all the time, because it has never been this way before. So to those of you who are feeling overwhelmed and tired and exhausted because every day today feels like 20 news days from 20 years ago, you're not crazy. You're being exposed to 20 days worth of news in a matter of minutes. One day sooner, like hours. It's at this point, our young people are looking at all of this information hellscape, dare I say, and wondering, how am I going to survive in any of this? How am I going to find a career, find a vocation, settle down, not have to deal with such abject, absolute mania all the time?
Exactly. And
Let's say the closest I can come to an analogy is what people are going through now with all the fear and uncertainty and everything is back to the Great Depression.
I mean, and even then, like, we know the Great Depression was caused by a speculative mania fueled by a whole lot of insider trading and a lot of financial fraud going on in the stock market.
But when the economy crashed way back then, I mean, we have proof that we can recover from it. It may be hard. It may take us time, but we have proof that we will recover.
It may also take antitrust and anti-monopolism, among other things.
Absolutely. But, you know, it's interesting. You compare it to the Great Depression, but one thing they didn't have back then, and I think this is one of the most important factors, is they didn't have the technological connectivity that we do today, where something happens around the world. We hear about it in 10 to 15 seconds. They heard about it in maybe the next day's newspaper the day after. And so
not even, brother. We're talking the 20s here, like the early 30s. No, they'd hear it weeks to months later in a larger story if they were lucky to catch a newsreel and see some aftershock featuring it. For example, like a lot of people in this country in the 20s didn't know Russia had turned communist until like the 30s. Like people didn't know that because the Russian Revolution happened at the end of the First World War in 1918. That's when the communists really took over and pushed out the moderates and said, now we're a communist country. But that wasn't news that circulated quickly. It took time to travel because it traveled by carriage and horse and buggy and all of these other things that were not a mail truck and an airplane.
That's good.
Or the internet.
Yeah, or the internet.
So much faster because of it goes at the speed of the net, not at the speed of telegraph.
Yep.
Or somebody traveling from.
Oh, you were privileged.
Europe.
You were powerful, rich. If you were getting telegraphs, man, like you were not poor.
But or you know, the post office might have in your little town have a telegraph, but they get little blurbs, and that's it.
Right, but you think about it now, and the amount of information coming to these people. So not only do they get over bombarded with information that probably doesn't make sense to a lot of them because they've never experienced things like cryptocurrency, flash crashes, things like that, or maybe they don't even know anything about it. Bye, Wild Angel. But then on top, not only do they not know about it, but they see billions of dollars being lost. They don't understand how it all works. On top of that, they're seeing that the government and all this is going down and all these protests and things occurring here, talking about how de-dollarization. I mean, there's so much information that the younger people have no idea about. But on top of that, their parents, like us, can say, well, I remember back in the 80s, the dot-com bubble. Like, and we just talked about the AI bubble, which, what are they saying? It's like 10 or 20 times bigger. Some huge number.
Yep, by leaps and bounds.
Right.
It's so much so that if we do not count AI-powered data centers, then the gross domestic product increase in the United States was only 0.01%.
Really? I didn't even know that. That's terrifying.
Our economy is data centers now.
Right. And knowing that those data centers, most of them are going to pop in the bubble. Like, I'm just waiting for this huge... It's like a financial nuclear bomb going off. It's going to be horrible. And you've got these people that have no idea this is going down, and they don't know what this information means. Their parents who are giving advice, like, we lived through it. It was okay. It was a little tough. No, you have no idea what it's going to be like. None of us do. This is new to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1800s, one of the big inspiring stories was a story of a railroad worker who used every ounce of physical strength he could muster to defeat the power of a steam engine train. And even in the myth, the worker who beats the train dies to beat it. So if we're looking at something as transformative as the steam-powered engine, only for information tech and white-collar work, then to a certain extent, if these models get good enough, they will replace us. But frankly, we won't mind because they'll do a better job than we will. That's the optimist's reading. The pessimist's reading is that we're creating an almost proto-Warhammer 40K-like environment where we're going to cede corporate control of institutions to robots that none of us actually understand. And even 2 generations from now, we won't even know how they work anymore.
That's about right. And, believe it or not, as I love to say, tinfoil hat moment, we're already there. I mean, let's think about it realistically. Whether you take politics or power, whatever it is, whatever your interest is, it is all controlled by big corporations. The money makes it move. Whether it's watching hockey, I started finding out what hockey players are making. We know what baseball players, all these people are making. It's all about big corporation money. So do you really think that these giant powers who are controlling all this industry really care about somebody who's working at the grocery store or flipping burgers or something like that? I mean, they could care less. We are so minute. We have so little knowledge about the AI, the robots that are being built, the unmanned drones. Now they got fleets of those things flying around. Okay, so now the military pilots are out. Now that it's all robot control. I don't know.
I see him flying over my neighborhood sometimes now. It really gives me the heebie-jeebies. It makes me feel like I live in a creepier future than I actually wanted. I don't think the drones are institutional, though. I think they're hobbyists. I think they're like wealthy neighbors that I've got just flying drones around.
I own 2 drones. I have yet to learn how to fly them, but I do own 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Totally me controlled, and one is actually GPS. So it's
well, hey, the good news is you learn to operate those. You're guaranteed to have a job in the future, Wild Angel. Because if the government has to fight an international drone war, that's a great job for you to have. Just walk into an office, sit down at the joystick, and we're off to war.
What a pleasant thought. But then again, you take the
what
AI and incorporate that into the drone.
Button?
Yeah, what's this do?
That's a self-destruct. Don't do that.
My bad. Sorry.
We actually have a program at College of Western Idaho to learn how to fly and pilot drones. And I mean, not the little tiny hobbyist drones, but the big drones.
The real.
You have the whole GIS and everything. It's like a 6 or 1 year program, but you learn to fly them. I was actually looking into that, but I can't quit my job to go do the labs.
Yeah, to go sit around learning how to fly drones for a year. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. And, it's scary how that's going to go, because then you take all these big AI data centers. We've got cars that can drive themselves. We've got the self-driving taxis now that are running around. They're talking about self-driving semi-trucks that are going to do deliveries. I mean,
yeah, and people think that's the king one, right? That the number one, the first full self-driving vehicles are actually going to be semi-trucks that at a certain point, it's like, oh no, that's the robot lane. You don't want to drive in the robot lane.
Yeah. It doesn't go well. I saw an article, was it 2 days ago? They are looking at changing stoplights, adding a white one above the green, yellow, red. They want to add a white one for AI self-driving vehicles, and that'll be for them alone.
I just want them to fix the traffic lights in my town, okay? They'll stop large amounts of people to let 2 people drive, and then it'll be 10 minutes before the large flow actually gets going again. Honestly, we could use LLMs on traffic camera detection, and I think that actually would be a little more efficient. Like, granted, they'd probably be easy to prank and be obnoxious with the system at the same time, but then again, that's a whole new job if you can think about it, guys. How can I break some companies' robots that they don't know about and then charge them to tell them about it? Like, that's essentially going to be the new human versus AI corporate bounty hunting. There's a job that'll exist that doesn't exist yet.
It's kind of like
I think it's kind of fun because insurance companies actually use drones. To go up and they'll do
surveys and stuff. Yeah.
Or inspections. Say you're claiming roof damage. They'll actually get a drone with a camera because it's safer for them to put a drone up there to inspect. And some of them even have like infrared so you can see how much heat is coming from a certain spot. Whoa. So like if you've got a weak roof, your heat's going to be more because your heat's coming out. So they can use IR to check for roof damage as well as visual for the cameras. They will do crop damage. It takes less time for a drone to go up and run a survey grid over fields than for a person to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And so, they use drones all the time. We're hearing about it a lot.
So just imagine now that you call up your insurance claim, and instead of him coming out, he just sends a drone out. And you open your front door, and the drone's sitting there looking at you. Hello, nice to meet you, Serenity. So let's take a look at your roof. Okay, go take a look at it. It flies around. Hey, we will email you a repair thing shortly, and flies away. They could absolutely get to that point. Then at that point in time, what do we need insurance adjusters or claims or anything like that for? It's like
because there's
it's
still
scary.
always the human, the decision. It can't always be algorithmic.
But let me ask you.
Let me rephrase that. It
Okay.
shouldn't be
Ah.
always algorithmic, because there are some things that money can't. I mean, the algorithm can't price something.
Oh, you mean my free marketplace of algorithmic ideas might not be so
I
accurate
know.
or free? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
disappointing.
Sorry, Nexus.
Ah.
I know I poked a hole in your balloon.
You did.
I
You
feel
just
like
popped the
Peter
bubble right there.
Griffin's when he runs outside and he just trips and he's just like, ah.
Yep, that sounds about right. And all the stuff we're talking about here, and we go down the rabbit hole of AI and stuff as we've done many times. But this is what is triggering a lot of this uncertainty. People they're hyper focused on the AIs or the drones or the self-driving vehicles, and they're like, "What the hell am I going to do with my life?" I mean, what job?
When the companies think they can replace all the people,
right?
Like Elon Musk is building the Optimus robots. Well, what do you think you're going to want an Optimus robot for? Well, it'll do your dishes for you. It'll clean the house for you. It'll do mundane chores that you definitely
it can
don't
do
want
my
to do.
chores for me. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. And if it increases people's productivity from a personal access to time savings moment, I'm all for this sort of stuff. But at the same
supplementary.
Yeah, but at the same time, I know that the people replacing CSRs with AI and LLMs, those people are not getting a giant productivity experience. They're making their customers very angry. And you can look no further than the drive-thrus, which should be as easy as it gets. I want a Big Mac combo and a large sweet tea. All right? You just ordered 2 Big Macs and 5 large teas. Is that correct? No, that's not correct. 1 sandwich and 1 tea as a combo meal. Like, and the thing's just not doing it. Like, it doesn't understand you. It can't comprehend changes the corporate makes to the menu in real time. Like, it can't process all of that stuff. So what people have taken to doing is that when they think you're LLMing them at the drive-thru, they'll say, "Hi, I'd like 17,000 waters."
Whoa.
I heard about that.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then the
Whoa.
robot will go, "This seems like a highly unusual order. We'll connect you with a real person." And then they've overcome it.
But
You've
this goes
broken
back-
through. Yeah.
This goes back to the macro environment is so overwhelming that most of the time we have no impact on it. We have no direct impact on the macro environment. So we micro control our little micro worlds. And we
Internal
super
locus
control
versus
those.
external locus.
Right.
So let me ask you then. So of course, with all the macro things going on, we've all experienced it. We're all in different walks of life, even different geographic locations. Where have you noticed you've had the biggest impact taking your micro environment and pushing it out to the macro and made an impact? Or have you at all?
Oh, I was going to say, Alpha, I know you've got some great stuff going on in South Africa, so I'd love to hear what you have going on. Most of mine's kind of depressing because it involves like rescuing people from bad situations.
Whoa.
That's important too. But yeah, Alpha, what do you got, buddy? What's going on in South Africa, man?
I don't know. South Africa's boring. I keep saying this. South Africa is very boring.
You
Well,
live in one of the
it's not that boring.
craziest energy economies in the world. From an external perspective, I look from the outside in and I get some amazing stories about local South African truck pirates steal shale oil and are using it to power illegal Bitcoin miners. And I'm just like, what?
Cool.
There is some crazy cool like energy corruption and piracy going on there. And I know there's people who are doing great things to try to bring all of that like to the regular world where it's not run by an energy mafia.
That would be
I
nice.
mean,
that's cool.
You see, the thing is, when that's like your reality, you're just like, oh, that's normal.
I was gonna say
Okay.
it's normalized
True.
in your head. You get so used to it that it's just like, oh, this is just the way things are. Isn't this the way it is for everybody? Alpha, actually, Alpha, no, it's not. It's highly unusual for like the government to decide, oh, your neighborhood isn't worth enough money today. We're just gonna cut you guys off, and we're gonna transfer power to the nice neighborhood who's actually giving us money. Like it's that's not something Americans deal with. For example, our utility companies
Right.
kind of suck, but they charge us all the same shitty bill.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I
We all
mean,
pay through the nose.
okay, I can see it because I mean, South Africa, we literally have one energy utility. It's a state-owned, technically, energy utility, so they
Yes.
supply the whole country's energy. We try to change that. Like we've been working on that change now. I think the past 5 years or so, we've been getting new independent power suppliers, which is working slowly but surely. We're getting there. I know the part of the country I'm in, we just want to be separate from South Africa at this point. We just don't want to deal with the rest of this nonsense.
Become your own country, your own government.
Secessionist behavior.
Yeah, we just like can't we just like we're gonna have our own country. You know, you all stay there, we stay here because we supply most of the funds for the rest of the country anyway. Like I know, I live in what we call the Western Cape. And the Western Cape is like 80% of the country's GDP.
Yes.
We just want to
Really?
not be involved with the rest of the 20% thing.
Yeah,
Everybody else
you
out.
guys can fight your regional conflicts and your tribal wars, and we'll sit over here trying to run an actual government which get things done. But yeah, they've got a monopoly going on, an energy monopoly, and it is nigh on impossible to overcome it because of the way the government has set up support vehicles for it. And because there's so many components, and because the country is really actually very big, there's a lot of energy pirates who do, I'll be honest, they do fuck shit.
That works. You know, that's even crazy to think about, you know, going back to the pirating days. I mean, we hear about it down, you know, in pirate ships, or they take ships, the pirates, I forget what country. I'm always hearing about them, seeing movies about them and stuff, but they take whole ships and they hold them hostage, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Pirating
think about
actually
something
still
like that,
happens.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
Is it really
It
still-
does.
It still happens in the, like, closer to the Middle East side. So, like, when you
Yes.
go, like you go in around South Africa and you get to, like, the far section, like, by the Central African areas, like, there. And then as you go to Asia, pirating is massive there. So almost no ships want to take that route. Because
there are-
you'll
Craziest
have a
Blame 'em.
50% chance of getting, stopped.
Even down like in the Bahamas, down that area. I know my daughter actually was on a boat and they were going to go down towards Puerto Rico and everything. And they had to be careful of where they went
Oh, yeah.
because there are still legitimately ocean going pirates.
Yeah,
And
Haiti
they
is the big
love
base camp right now.
and they love taking these little pleasure crafts. Basically, it's a 40-foot sailboat, but they love taking those over.
Oh, yeah, because everyone's rich and expecting it to be super chill, so there's very lax
Supposedly
security
rich.
and... Well, they're hoping, right? That's the gamble. The
Right.
gangsters
Right.
hoping, like, oh, there's going to be a rich person on there. Maybe we can ransom them back for a big payday. But the
Right.
craziest South African, like, energy pirate story that I have actually involves illegal oil harvesting and refining that was going on the far east side of the country. Essentially, some groups had taken over coal mines that were not being particularly well protected, and they were started shipping their own, basically, criminal extracted oil trucks out of these unmaintained oil deposits and coal mines. And what ended up happening was somebody inside their criminal energy management company basically ratted out the delivery schedule. So somebody hits the trucks with motorbikes and it's like automatic weapons. And it's like, yo, give us, like, they left the driver stranded on the side of the road because they were like, yo, we just want the truck. We just want the goods in the back of the truck. So they steal the trucks and then they take the energy goods, right, the coal or the oil, and then they'd sell it back to a corrupt energy official at the big energy monopoly who was willing to deal with them. So they were basically crooks would take over an energy operation, and then other crooks would steal from them and then sell it to the state. It's basically how that worked. Like, it was one of the craziest stories because it involved oil truck hijacking in the middle of, like, the South African desert, basically. It was really wild. And then later, the police would obviously try to hunt this down because someone else, as a property owner, owns the property that the criminals took over. They go investigate, and it's like, well, we found the truck, but there's no coal or oil in it.
Oh, God. Bye-bye. That's insane. And, at the same time, though, with everything that's going on. Odin. All right. Oh, okay, quick.
Hey, good to see you, Odin.
Time out for a second. Odin, buddy, we had an update to Discord, and it stopped all my DMs. So if you did DM me for your prize last week, I did not get it. So please shoot me a DM right now so I know I can get it, because I want to get you paid your $20 from winning last week's giveaway. So sorry to interrupt, guys, but yes, I had to get that out.
Get this man a reward. Wakanda forever.
We kind of got stuck in a tech glitch.
I didn't even know it until I went to DM Nexus today. And I'm like, it won't let me. Like, why? I started blaming you, Alpha, by the way. It wasn't you. It was Discord.
I know that.
Me.
I know.
It is. Because you're the one that touches things. No, Odin,
I haven't touched
please.
anything.
Send us a DM. I thought I had a DM from you in mine from a previous drawing, but yeah, it's not there anymore either.
So yeah, shoot me a DM, Odin, because I do want to get you paid, buddy. I feel bad I haven't been able to yet. But yeah, if you're running Discord, go in and check your permission sets, because it did change mine to where I could not accept any DMs from anybody unless they were on my friends list. And even like Nexus, who is on my friends list, I still couldn't DM him. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, you lock down the security. It's good. It'll keep you safe, but no one outside of a select few people will even be able to contact you.
Yeah, that's not what I want. I want to definitely be here to reach out to and help wherever I possibly can. So go in and check your Discord settings, everybody out there, because the update did tweak a few things. So yeah,
Serenity, you'll have to help me do that.
We can do that. We can do that. Well, thank
Odin,
you, Odin.
You're a sweetheart.
Odin's very nice.
Yes. You're awesome, Odin, but I still want to give it to you, my man. Just say thank you for being part of the community and part of this great adventure. Now, of
and
course,
for always showing up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you deserve it.
You do. Absolutely. Now, of course, tonight's topic is that whole thing of the chaos that we're talking about. And, really kind of curious, because these are some crazy pirating things. There's things going on. We've talked about the AI and stuff. But, in this environment, if somebody right now is trying to navigate this, so everybody here has different experiences in different age groups where we have a different mindset as we go into these processes, how we can make a change. So I'm really kind of curious. So Wild Angel, if somebody, like Nexus described earlier, is say in their early 20s, late teens, or whatever you want to put it, what can you advise them? How should they get control of this macro environment and not feel like they're just going to crash and burn?
Well, for one, knowing you can't control the macro. You can't.
Nope.
But you can broaden your micro world and cause ripples that spread on a more macro level. So, for example, in both of my jobs, I'm very much about trying to accomplish my goals with sugar rather than vinegar. I will work with people and I try to make them better than when they walked up to me, or better from my interaction with them. Well, if you've got somebody who's really cranky and you can turn that around, and by the end, at least maybe they're neutral. They don't have to be smiling, but at least neutral. From cranky, that's an improvement, and that's a ripple. How is that going to impact the next person they interact with? Maybe they won't be cranky with that next person. Maybe they're neutral. Maybe that person is nice to them. Maybe then it causes another ripple, because maybe then they're not, maybe not happy, but not neutral. Kind of in like, okay, that's not so bad. But I have people that they're like terrified that their tax person's calling them saying, hey, you owe me money. I'm making collection calls. And by the end of it, this one, I had a broker I had chased down for 6 months trying to get his filing. I have people I just sent to legal after almost 10 months. I'm revoking their licenses. But this is one that was right on that border, and he had retired. Well, his company was trying to get with him and sign some paperwork and everything. It took us almost 4 months, and we finally got it done. And I'm like, great. 3 days later in the mail, I actually got snail mail. Oh my God, it was addressed to me. Cool, right? Perked me up. It was a thank you card.
Cool.
And not only did she say thank you for helping work through this, but she said I was fun to work with. Oh, and by the way, she tried to shark me from my agency. She says, if you ever leave, I will take you in a heartbeat. And so,
Excellent.
it made me feel better. This was kind of a little duck. I got a duck. Basically. And yeah, it was my duck. It was like, hey, it made me feel better. I helped them. I made their day better. I got could have been a legal situation resolved before it went that far. I mean, it could have gone to revocation and penalties, and we avoided all that. And she said I was fun to work with because I kept my sense of humor. And so those are ripples that then kind of like when you throw a rock in a pond and you see the ripples just get bigger and bigger. If everybody made ripples, good ripples, bad ripples get bigger too. But if everybody made good ripples, we would positively impact the macro world. Kindness matters. Little acts, random acts of kindness. Somebody in front of me was $2 short at the grocery store. I took care of it.
Good for you.
I'm doing auction baskets for United Way right now. We've talked about United Way. United Way is like a clearinghouse for funds for community service. And we're doing an auction starting on Monday. And I had to think, after what's going on, I've been struggling with this just for me basket or a spa day basket. I've been struggling, trying to figure out what would be good in it. Well, after my last week or two, today I had some room to breathe. And it was like, what would have made me feel better? What would have made me feel pampered? What would have helped me relax? I did the basket today. All of it.
Good for you.
And so these are ripples that I can create that spread beyond my little micro world.
Okay.
They just keep getting bigger. United Way is even bigger. It'll spread throughout the entire state. And those can spread beyond.
And that makes perfect sense. And the one thing that I've noticed lately is a lot of these, whether it's gaming or different events, are so isolated, individual orientated. There we go, not isolated. But a lot of people are playing short games that give you that quick euphoria of like, look at me, I'm doing awesome because I'm winning this game. And we're seeing that more and more in the things that are focused more towards children or younger adults, where it's all about you are the hero. And if you can't do it on your own, then, yeah, exactly. So I'm really kind of curious. Right. So Alpha, as a younger individual, are you finding yourself drawn into these individual dopamine hits, or are you finding it more satisfying to try to create these ripples or make a change on a bigger macro scale? I mean, where do you find you're drawn in more at?
Well, I think we need to remember that I am ADHD, so my brain does tend to get hooked on the smaller ones. Like, there's no help in it. My brain literally doesn't give me the chance to do the bigger dopamine hits. So I think my answer is very, very much smaller dopamine hits usually, but at least at the end of the day, like smaller dopamine hits culminate into a larger one. Like I said earlier, I was busy cleaning, and the reason I could stick with it is because I do it in smaller sections. So like I don't do all of the kitchen at once. I'll do maybe just like part of the dishes, and then the next part, and then the next part after that. So my brain is able to stay focused on it for longer than 5 minutes. Otherwise, I know if I try to do everything in one go, I'm going to get halfway through it and I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm never doing this shit again.
It's called chunking.
Chunking?
That's actually a technique called chunking. Yes, that is a legitimate technique for goal-oriented behavior.
I swear sometimes we make this shit up as we go.
No.
Chunking. I have never heard of
it. It is called chunking. And if Britt's listening, I bet you she can back me up on that.
So, yeah.
That's great.
It's definitely the smaller dopamine hits. I don't know. I think the mindset is also very much, I will always think that like as long as you can do smaller things, it will eventually culminate in something bigger. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to focus on doing one big thing all at once, or even really look at the overall picture all at once at this point in time. You can do the smaller things now, see where it gets to, and then as you go along, you adjust it until you can get to the bigger picture. Right. And just adjust along the way. Because if you try to do one big thing in one go, you might not have that options to adjust things as you get. You know, things are going to happen. You might hit a snag in the road, but now if you're already so focused on the larger, the larger goal, you might not have the brain capacity to be like, okay, how do I climb over this?
Right. And
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's like my checklist for school that I did, that I showed you today. I have a Excel, and I made like a checklist because I've got seminar I have to go to. I have to do 3 discussion posts. I have quizzes. I have assignments. I have homework. Whoa. Well, I can't. It's also narcissism.
That sounds right, Brett. I love it.
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that.
Whoa.
I love it. Yes, narcissism. I like that one.
But my checklist is basically chunking. It focuses, I need to do this. So here, and it's done. And then at the end of the week, okay, that whole line is done. Hey, yay, great.
Fair enough. And we could also call you a narcissist too. I like that. Thanks, Britt. I'm totally
Everybody's a narcissist.
This is true. It's true. But now, next is now compared to like Wild Angels talking, the ripple effect. Alpha Cruz, he's the ADD, so he's doing it totally different. You are in a very unique position because people come with you with these massive problems. Dude, my wallet got hacked for 30 different cryptocurrencies across 5 different blockchains and 3 different exchanges. What the hell happened? How the hell do you even deal with that, man? That just thinking about that blows my mind. So yours is almost reversed.
It's almost no different from dealing with a real frustrated customer who wants to yell at somebody because your store doesn't have the right kind of eggs. It's no different, actually.
Okay, you gotta explain that because I'm not making the connection there, buddy.
Well, when you're a grocery store front-end supervisor, sometimes you deal with the most unhinged and unreasonable people who are being set off by something that seems completely just like, why are you upset about this? Like, we can fix this. Like, this is a fixable problem. dealing with a victim of fraud is like that in that they are as unhinged, but they have an absolutely paramount, real, good freaking reason. Undeniably so. And honestly, in order to actually get better at dealing with this, I had to learn how to compartmentalize. Because if I empathize too much, then it breaks me. It absolutely breaks me down to my emotional core, and I'm sitting on Discord weeping with somebody who's wondering how they're going to feed their kids because they just lost their life saving. Let alone how they're going to send their kids to school.
Right.
And in those moments, I have to, as a community defender, just in the vaguest of possible senses, I have to compartmentalize my feelings, my thoughts. And sometimes my thoughts are cold and harsh, but I am never cold and harsh with a victim. That is the thing that I do that's different from others. I mean, you go look at 10 Zach XBT responses, you'll see the cold and harshness come across, where he straight up says, "Oh, you lost $2 million in some meme coin on a chain no one cares about? Get bent, buddy. I ain't got time for that."
Oh.
Like Zach XBT will be cruel, cold, and harsh at times, in my opinion. But he's also, like anybody, got a lot on his plate and a lot of people thinking they're entitled to his time. And if enough people come up to you and treat you like ass because they think they're entitled to you, then you're going to get a little cranky and a little grouchy about it too. And prioritizing one's own time is difficult in an altruistic purpose setting because my gut instinct is always to sacrifice. And I'm trying to get better at caring about my own self in ways that would be meaningful and allow me to help more people in the future. That part gets really challenging. And I've dealt with folks in voice calls who've lost at times like 10 to 100 times the net worth that I've ever achieved, like with all of the years, all the hours worked. Like, assume I never spent a dime. Like, these people had and lost 100 times more money than I've ever seen. And when I'm sitting there talking to somebody who's going through that, I've gotten every response under the sun that you could imagine. Actually, some of these folks are like really, they're crying, they're upset, they're inconsolable in the moment, and absolutely unhinged, don't know what to do, and they actually need me to be a little calm and a little cold, because then I'm a pillar and they can lean on it, and that will bring them back to earth emotionally, so they can go forth and deal with this what is the very ugly plate of food they now have to swallow, metaphorically. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you get people, I've talked to people that have that kind of money. I never understood it because I've never had it. We always dream about, win the lottery and I'll get millions and it'll be great. Like, I didn't even know what I would do if I had it, let alone if I lost it. I was like,
yeah,
I can't.
And
even
that part, a lot of other people will be like absolutely unsympathetic. Like, oh, you had that much and you just casually lost it in like a crypto DeFi drainer? What the heck is wrong with you? Are you an idiot? Like, and no, they're not an idiot. They're a human being. Like, and I can have empathy for someone who is wealthier than me, who is in a much worse place than I could ever imagine being put in. But at the same time, like, just because I can't imagine myself and winding up in the situation where, for example, I lost $6 million worth of Pendle to airdrop that I got, like,
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ooh.
And I guess it's like anything else.
Or being the Paxos guy and burning $300 million and then minting 300 trillion and then having to burn 300 trillion again, It happens.
Yeah, and to give everyone a little bit of perspective,
didn't know.
The global financial trade, and when I say global financial trade, I mean everything. Goods, stocks, bonds, crypto, whatever. There's not $400 trillion worth of stuff on the planet. So when they say they minted $300 trillion, that's like minting 60 to 70% of the world economy on chain.
How do you even do that?
In a single transaction?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
Paxos
monopoly money.
USD, they meant to transfer $300 million to a wallet. They accidentally sent it to the burn address. Then to make up for the problem, they wanted to mint that 300 million, but somehow ended up minting 300 trillion.
Oh.
No, that's what I call a fat finger.
That's what I call lack of attention to decimal points.
Yes.
Decimal points matter.
I mean, if I worked for PayPal and I made a 4-figure rounding error in minting crypto coins, I'm just gonna be honest, I'd probably be strung up, crucified, and left in a barrel somewhere in the swamp.
They'd probably put you on display across the front of the building.
You know what? Serenity always tells me it's the attention to detail. So you always triple check your numbers in a transaction.
Oh yeah.
Hello, decimal point error.
And
it's like 6 extra decimal points there. 6. It's not 1 or 2, it's 6.
Too many rock stars. He was shaking with caffeine.
Don't worry about it, brother. It was a 5-figure rounding error. It'll come out in the wash.
and that mindset just blows me away. And and that's the thing is, you get these big corporations, things like that, and they talk about billions and trillions of dollars. And, we got people who have next to nothing, and they're scraping together just to buy food or pay rent or thing.
Yeah,
and they feel so helpless because in their micro world they are so lost, so confused. And it's interesting where you get people that they lost $10 on something and they're devastated. You got others that lose 10 million and are equally devastated. So wherever you are in the spectrum of the universe, you're all feeling the same thing. You're feeling that tragedy, that loss, that hopelessness, whatever it is. And especially right now in this world where we are, I think everybody has that feeling going on because we don't know what's going on. Whether it's government, it's politics, it's the power companies, the AI, or anything else. None of us really knows what's happening. We're all kind of watching the news like, what's going to go down next? I don't know. And so, it really brings that hopelessness to the forefront of their mindset. Then I see them closing in on themselves, going into a micro world. Like, okay, I can control my video game, or I can control my living room, or what's in my house, and that's it. But they step outside and it's a terrifying event.
And that's called, there's a whole bunch of mental health stuff that goes along with that. It leads to depression, anxiety, fear of being out in the open, because having had severe anxiety, I wouldn't go to the grocery store until like 3 a.m. because nobody was at the grocery store. I couldn't handle being around people and the store was empty.
Dang.
I did that. Right now, with as crazy as the world is, I get it. Anxiety is at a huge high right now.
Yes.
And because everybody is so fearful of what's coming next, they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so we have to take those little wins. And if all it is, hey, I got my dishes done today. Because for some people, that is huge.
Right.
I got up and got a shower today. I'm sorry. Our daughter made a joke. She was here earlier. She goes, "Yeah, I got a shower." I'm like thinking, okay, great, good job. But it was just a total joke because I think her hair was still wet, but she has really thick hair. So,
oh yeah.
It was still wet, but we were teasing her. And it's insane. We have to take those small wins, because if we get enough of those small wins, they add up to a bigger win. Kind of like at the fair when you're winning prizes. First you win the little bitty one, eventually you can win the big huge one.
Right.
So
yeah, alternatively, you can do what all the goobers at Malibu Jacks were doing when I went for my birthday the other week. That was kind of funny. We go into Malibu Jacks, which is like a combination entertainment complex, but it has a bar. So there's an adult component to this, right? Well, I was excited to drink alcohol and play arcade games. That was why I showed up. Well, I go there and I start hearing roars erupting while I'm dicking around with a Walking Dead cabinet. And I die and I say, all right, this game sucks. I'm walking away from it. And I'm going to go investigate what the roaring is. Like, where's all the gooners screaming in the Malibu Jacks? Well, I go over and there's 20 dudes who are surrounding the ticket lottery machine. They are literally sitting there gambling their money, their arcade tokens, basically, on getting giant ticket bundles.
Oh.
And I'm like, wow, so you guys are practicing playing the slot machine right now? That's what you guys are roaring about? Yeah. And it was actually depressing. I was like, come on, I thought they were playing the Halo 4-player cabinet or something.
Yeah, something cool.
Something at least like, oh, that's neat. But
and,
no.
You know, actually,
the roulette wheel.
Right. But you think about it. I mean, with everything going on, with the markets, with the government, with all that, we feel so hopelessly lost about the only thing we feel like we're gambling either way. And at least at a casino, you know you're going to lose for one. And two, you kind of feel like you have control because you're pulling the lever. At least you're doing something like, hey, if I pull the lever and I lose, then it's on me. It's not, okay, somebody from a foreign country or some big corporation took all my money away for no apparent reason. Doesn't make sense. So, you know, we tend to digress back to the smallest way we can of something we control. Even if it's a losing game, at least we control the loss, right? It's a scary concept.
You know, in the crazy world we're in, we take what we can get.
Right. But is there a better way? And that's the real question here that I want to leave all of you with, because we're about running out of time here, guys. And I'm not going to do like I did last week and lose track of time. I'm actually watching the clock this time, and I remember what time of day it is. Yeah, last week was a train wreck. Sorry. There are a lot of real-world issues, as you guys know. But I'm going to leave everybody out there watching this, everybody here. You know, right now, we all feel out of control. We all feel lost. We all feel confused. And from the advice that we've gotten from everybody up here, you know, compartmentalize when you need to. Feel empathy, because everybody's feeling this. You know, if you're in another country where things are totally different, maybe look at the way they do things. It's like, hey, can I pick up some pointers from them? You know, look outside your bubble to find some answers, and never be afraid to reach out and say, hey, you know, how are you dealing with this? Because everyone's going to deal with it a little bit differently. Most important thing is to find a way to deal with it, hopefully in a positive manner. Now, one way I always like to deal with things positively is to go out and spread some little yellow ducks, because I guarantee Project Duck Depression and sharing these ducks around is going to be a ripple effect that pays it forward. Somebody out there needs to find that duck. They need that positive feeling, and they're going to spread it forward. So do me a favor, if you would, guys, make sure to hit up Project Duck Depression over on Facebook, give them a like, and let's try to spread some positivity together, because this world is way too damn crazy to just be stuck in this long, depressing line of uncertainty.
Definitely.
I love Project Death Depression.
Absolutely.
We love birthday duck the
Who doesn't love duckies?
Who doesn't like ducks? Yeah, exactly. So, guys, for anybody out there right now who's feeling the same way we are, kind of lost, kind of things like that, what is one pointer that you can give them, a tip that you are working on right now to survive this chaos that's going on? So, Wild Angel, I'll let you start us off.
Make ripples. Give back. Do something in your community. Find a project. Even if it's you go donate a couple hours of your time at your local food bank, or help a neighbor shovel their sidewalk when it starts to snow. Something. Make a ripple. That's my advice.
Good advice. I like that. Okay, Nexus, what do you got for us, buddy?
About 2 or 3 years ago, I got hit up by a bunch of crypto degens asking me how you stay cool when the prices go down and you're watching yourself lose money. And it inspired me to write an article called The Locus of Control: What the Grind Set Gurus Don't Want You to Know. And the simple truth of it is, what they don't want you to know is that these are two different loci of control that all of us have access to. And based on our upbringing and our environment, we're predisposed to one or the other. If you have an internal locus of control, then as we've described, you're kind of locally focused and tunnel visioned on what immediately in your world you can impact. If you have an external locus of control, then actually that means that you don't believe you can have any impact at all. It means you believe that luck, fate, is what guides that train. And in the real grand scope of each individual battle that all of us are fighting, it's a balance between the two of these.
Interesting. And that's one of those things that, we do tend to close up. I like that.
In business, they recommend you have an internal locus, meaning stay focused on what you can control. Because if you're too focused on everything that's happening with, say, Trump in the White House, that from either direction, you're missing out on a bunch of stuff.
That's a good point. And we do tend to do that. We get hyper-focused on one thing, and so many things happen around us, so we lose it all. Like, wait, when did that happen? I missed it.
If I make enough money to buy a Mar-a-Lago membership, then I can go hang out with the president and his homies and influence policy like everybody else. But unfortunately, I'm poor right now, so that's not in my cards. And I'm not exactly aping for a Mar-a-Lago membership at this time. But, if it absolutely became necessary and I had the money to do it, well, you know what? See you in Palm Beach, guys.
I like it. That's a hell of a goal. I love it, man. So, Alpha, what do you got, buddy, from South Africa down there? You guys do things a little bit different. So, give me some advice from your corner of the world that maybe we're not aware of.
I think I actually got reminded of this now. But if you want to improve your life immediately, clear out the closet, or clean out the closet. That was the phrase. There we go. You want to improve your life immediately, clean out the closet. It's a way of saying that, like, sometimes it applies to the ripple effect. When you do that things and you spend that time to go and just sort out things that aren't in order, and you donate out the things that you don't need anymore, you're making space for that ripples outwards. And you're making space for your brain to get that chance to just relax, recenter, and figure out what the hell is going on. So maybe you just need to do that. Clean out the closet or your garage or something. Just do something that needs a little bit of TLC, and you haven't had a chance to do it yet in like maybe a few months or so. Do it. Just get it sorted. Get out the things you don't need anymore. Donate the pre-loved goods. Someone else, you're going to make someone else's day. You're going to create that ripple effect that Wild Angel was talking about. There you go. Well, maybe that's all you need to do.
There you go. Just do it. And it's great because from everything you guys are talking, I'm gonna sum this all up into one. And I want to thank Odin for this because this is the reason I do this. And from Wild Angel, your Ripple Effect, Alpha Cruise, your Just Do It, and Nexus, your thing of getting out of my own little world and missing things. Got to remember why we're here. Whether we're at Down Home Crypto, why we're here every Friday, whether there's somebody in the audience or not, whether there's somebody on stage with me or not. And, I definitely, I had it and I lost it. There we go. Odin, you made this comment. The knowledge I gain here is payment enough for me. That is why I do this. And so even as lost and confused as I feel every day, where I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what's happening, I have no idea what to tell you guys to invest in or not invest in, or I don't have a clue. What I do know is that if I put forth the time and I just do it, I can make those ripples. I can help somebody through a hard time. I can be a light in the darkness, even when nobody is, even if I have nothing to say. The fact that I took the time to show up, and I do that for all of you. And truth be told, you guys are doing it for me. You are my inspiration. So I want to say thank you to everybody out there, because if it weren't for you, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. Probably getting in trouble or be sitting in a hole of misery and sorrow. And so make no mistake, all of you are the inspiration that draw me here every Friday. So I want to say thanks to everyone out there.
Well, if you drop all your morals, you could be a dark web billionaire, but, you won't sleep well at night, and your crew will probably kill you one day, but,
Well, if I don't have morals, then I'll probably sleep fine, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you sleep fine. I think you sleep
fine. A bet of 2,000 thread count, I might add, but you'd be looking over your shoulder, wondering when your crew's going to walk in the door, hoping they can put a bullet in your head and take the cold wallet.
This is true.
With one eye open.
That's okay. My wallet ain't worth stealing. Don't worry about it. You're good. But no matter where you are in life, and no matter how lost or confused you feel or helpless you feel, make no mistake, you do have power. And if you have to do that on a micro level to affect a macro world, do it. Most important thing is do something, because you have more power than you know, and you can affect more lives than you could possibly imagine. So get out there and do something good this weekend. But I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us. Thank you to everybody who's up here on stage, and everyone who's watching the rerun. Thank you guys for taking the time and spending Friday night or whenever you're watching this, that time with us, because time is valuable. The fact that you choose to spend it with us truly means a lot to all of us. So we love you guys. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll catch you next Friday. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, everybody.